Dr. Mel from justmillet.com. So I really want to make bread bowls. We're working with a pretty high hydration, so I treated this mixer just like I would treat the Zacme when I am impatient. It means I put my hand on the top and I kick the speed all the way up to top speed for about 30 seconds, and I watch the dough just come together. I lowered it back down to speed 2, which is where you're supposed to mix your bread dough on the KitchenAid, and I let it do that for a few more minutes. And then right around 5.5 minutes, I kicked it back up to top speed, and I heard it go flop, flop, flop in the bowl, and I said, woohoo! I did it in under 6 minutes by doing exactly the same thing I would have done in the Zacme. Here's our dough. Yeah. I'm going to wet my board. Look at that dough. With our wet hands, let's stretch this out and do a little bit of lamination. This double batch should make about 6 bread bowls. That's a pretty nice dough, don't you think? We're trying to stretch this out. This is 80% hydration. We want our dough bowls to be a little bit more solid so they hold their shape when we bake them in the oven, and I think that that is pretty good. We're going to stretch this dough out this way. Look at this beautiful sourdough, 4.5 quart. All right. If I were going to make this with yeast, I would use way less yeast and do the slow rise, almost like with the pizza dough. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my website and look at my fresh milled pizza dough recipe, because it's awesome, like pizzeria awesome. And then I let the dough bulk ferment 4 hours on the counter, and then I stuck it in the refrigerator until now. And this is what the dough looks like. Look how much it rose. It's very cold, and oh, see the bubbles. We're gonna dough dump and divide this dough up into 6. 202, that's pretty close. So we got 6. So we're bringing it this way and then back, just like that. Okay, and we have a nice taut skin. And then we're gonna set the dough aside to rest. And when it rests, the gluten will relax. And you can use your hands, dragging. I'm pushing down and towards me, and it tightens up the dough surface. I always thought that was funny. They're like, shape it as much as you can without tearing it. But we don't know what that point is. Well, that's why we practice. And then I might even put a towel on top, cover that up just to warm these up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna let these rest. Hey, welcome back. The dough has relaxed and it's spread out some. We wanna shape them tight. Dust the top of these with a little rice flour. I have dusted with rice flour. I like to do 6 and 12, okay, 3 and 9, and then the corners, just like that. Pinch together any seams, and then roll it over and try to solidify the bottom a little bit. You can tighten it up just a little. Just try not to tear the dough. That's looking really good, isn't it? See that? So can you see the one that I tightened up too much and it tore? We could reshape this if we let it rest again. 6 and 12 on the clock. For me, this is 12 and this is 6. And then I'm gonna do 9 and 3. And now we have a square. And then we're gonna take the corners in, flip it over, and tighten it up. Look at that bubble. I'm not gonna pop the bubble. All right, that feels pretty taut. So I'll put that in, oh, let me redust that. in the 5th spot. There are our 5, and we're gonna let these proof maybe an hour and a half. So cover these up there. It'll keep it nice and cozy too. Maybe it'll warm up the dough a little. It is still cool to the touch from the refrigerator, and a lot of people bake straight from the refrigerator, but I don't know why. I just don't want to do that. I'm back a little bit early because the bread appears to be very ready in that I can see certain areas are splitting, which tells me we've hit an area where there might be some gluten breakdown, and I like how these feel. So we're gonna slice, they call it scoring. I am going to score in a round because I have found that I like that better for round loaves than going across. And I'm just trying to keep my flame steady and smooth. Oop, and I don't want to catch it with this corner like I did. Oopsie. And I was going to do an egg wash, but as it turns out, I don't have any eggs, okay? I have my air fryer set for 400. I'm gonna bake these for 20 minutes, see how they turn out. Welcome back. It was done a few minutes ago, but I was cleaning and doing things and I forgot to take them out of the oven. So this side, closest to the heating element, got a little burned on the sides. I should have turned it this way during the bake, halfway through. 194 and climbing. I'm gonna say that's done. Oh, look at that. Look at that gorgeousness. Making a roux for soup.
Because I also
Which is just
rolled
equal parts.
myself from the chair.
Okay. Butter and flour. You can see how it's darkening. It'll start to smell nutty if you use soft wheat for your flour instead of hard wheat. It will cook faster because it has less protein. So just stir it up just like that. And then we want to add broth or milk, something cold to thicken this up. I actually don't have milk, but I do have heavy cream. And so we're going to try some cold water and heavy cream to make up for not having milk. I am making a cream of mushroom soup. Pull this cream out of the refrigerator. So when you're making a soup with a roux, which is the flour and the fat together, you need to add cold water to a hot roux, or if you make a bunch of roux ahead and keep it in the refrigerator, then you add hot liquid to a cold roux. But it must be opposite temperatures in order for this to thicken up the soup. How it hangs on the spoon and leaves a line, that is what we want. The next thing to do then is maybe we want to add some cheese. We might want to add, in my case, mushrooms, right? I like it good. And to get it extra mushroomy, I have some mushroom powder. We can just stir this up. This is going to be about a single serve soup. And if we don't like how thick it is and we want to thin it, we can just add a little bit more milk, water, broth, whatever kind of liquid we're using. Isn't that nice? We're going to put some rosemary in here and some thyme, give it some flavor. If we have onions, you can put some onions in here. I used all my onions, so that's not going to happen. If you want to put some cheese in your cream of mushroom or cream of broccoli or clam chowder, corn chowder. Ooh, corn chowder would be good. I should have made that. You could do that to the soup. It's like it's snowing on the soup. Snow, snow, snow. There we go. Some William Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. However you pronounce it. Worcestershire. Little pepper. So we want to cut out the side. And I am using the one that I burned the most. So I have some nicer ones to take with me tomorrow. I'm just gonna pull this out. There we go. And then we can cut the bread into cubes or leave it sliced. That way you can dip. I like the idea of having softer pieces of bread to dip into my soup. But if you want croutons, you could toast some of these up. Actually, let's do both. So we'll put a little bit of croutons right here. Some olive oil in the bowl. And on our croutons. Oops, this one's the croutons. Here, toss them. You could use a pastry brush. This is for me. I'm just gonna drizzle a little balsamic fig on these croutons. Give them a little extra flavor. Balsamic goes pretty well with cream of mushroom soup. And then we're gonna toast these in the air fryer on air fry. Okay, our bread has come out of the air fryer. It's a little toasty on the inside, which helps keep the soup from making the bread bowl soggy. Spoon our soup directly into the bowl. Oh, that looks so good. And that carries a lot of soup. Put a couple croutons on top. Add some scallions. And I'm thinking just a little bit of cheese on top. Oh, isn't that pretty? We'll put a couple croutons here. And then we have our bread for dipping. You can lay the bread out however you like. You could keep it in a separate bowl like I had it. And there you have it. We did it. We made a bread bowl. Looks so good. Mmm. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Why don't I do this more often? Creamy soups are my absolute favorite. They are so ridiculously quick and easy to make. And I know how to make bread, and I love bread bowls. 5 years. This is the first time I've ever made one. And it's just the right size. Like, I know they make these monstrous bread bowls, like the Panera and all that, but nobody eats all the bread. And when I was looking at how much bread is in there, that's a lot. I love this size. It's so cute. I knocked like 50, 60 grams off the typical bread bowl size, and I think it's great. So we can take our soft bread and dip it in the soup. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good.
Just a minute.